Hey everybody, clearing. Okay, today we're going to dive into a divine feminine check-in. I suppose that's what I'm getting on the pre-shuffle, to see what do the feminines like and dislike about the journey right now. But let's just do a quick check-in and see where the counterparts are each at. So feminines on the left, masculines on the right. Thank you, Divine Creator, for using me as a channel of only the highest, most beneficial information coming through. Let's have a look at where each of the counterparts are at regarding the connection at this time. Feminines. Okay. Wow, interesting. Okay. So right now there's ending burden in both sides of the connection. Feminines have the Two of Pentacles, baby steps, so no longer juggling certain things that were burdensome. I'm getting that the feminines have a lot more energy at their disposal to focus on the connection, because on my table, this crow is looking towards the connection. Masculines also, crow looking towards the feminine. So we've got the feminine there, masculine there, looking towards each other. The crow that's here is going from the masculine side to the feminine. It looks like this on my table. So what I'm getting from that is that the masculines are thinking of ways to eliminate the burden for the feminines. They've got some idea. Masculines are also walking away from things that don't emotionally serve them. I'm getting a few things that would entail, like feeling fear of rejection in these connections. Masculines are understanding these connections are standing the test of time, so they're no longer buying into their fear that it's a temporary thing or it's not going to last. They are telling themselves, I'm hearing, that it has lasted much longer than they ever thought it would, and that's important. They're also wanting to let go of things that they thought would produce good results that aren't this connection, that haven't really panned out or become positive. And going into the future, we have Queen of Cups, psychic intuitive energy. It's also a lot of unconditional love. In the inverse, something that each counterpart will need to decide, I'm getting, is going to tap into an increased unconditional love. It's going to draw on each counterpart's deepest knowing in order to really show love to each other, but also to feel it. There's like a digging deep for the bedrock of the connection here from each. It feels independent from both sides equally. So there's an ending of burden. There's walking away from things that don't serve, eliminating things that aren't emotionally or physically helping the case or scenario or their own lives. And then this ability to feel on a deeper level, literally, is what I'm getting. So let's have a look. What can we see for the masculines? Growth, heal old wounds, spirit is ever present, restore healthy connections, expect miracles, and live fully. So masculines, yeah, this is that card that came out the other day, restore healthy connections. This is the healthiest connection you've ever had. So yeah, dig deep, be brave, end burden, walk away from other things that can't compare to this, and live fully, live fully. What can we see for the feminines? Ooh, almost. Oh, my pup is whining. She's outside of the room. What can we see for the feminines? Okay, we are getting spaciousness. Be gentle with yourself. Find daily quietude to recharge. Take time to integrate experiences. Be discerning in energy given. Be patient in your growth. Practice mindful breath. Simplify your life. Yeah, so feminines, there is a stopping juggling other things and just being simple, patient, present, integrating things. I would say this feels like the feminines are becoming receptive and masculines are stepping into some kind of action here. That's actually really beautiful. Okay, what can we see for what the feminines are consciously feeling good about at this time regarding the connection? What they are not preferring, what they feel good about regarding the romantic love at this time in the connections, what they don't feel so great about, what the feminines would like to do, what they would not like to do or manifest, the actions the feminines would like to take and would not like to take, the biggest challenge that they would like to overcome and that they don't want to deal with, the solution for each of those, and the direction that this connection's going in the near future, plus cards for any divine masculines that are watching to get some added information as to where the masculines stand in what we'll see. So what do the feminines like about the connections right now? On the conscious mind, they do feel like this spaciousness, the card that we just saw, they're starting to feel, or they already are feeling, the heartache is lessening. The feminines are feeling just more balanced, safer, relaxed. A lot of the old in-your-face heartache isn't there right now. Yes, there's a little bit, maybe too much spaciousness for some of the feminines, wanting to get to the good part quicker. But this does show that they actually are really liking this time just to come back into themselves. What do the masculines need to know about this? Yeah, unconditional friendship. That's the card we've been seeing. Masculines, this is a cue to be more invested in just, how is your person doing? Getting in tune with where they're actually at without feeling like they're gonna, lose themselves in you. Your counterpart is really starting to feel supported in their own simplicity right now. It's like there's not so much on their plate in some ways. Emotionally, they've got time to breathe right now. So masculines, yeah, it's a good time to just offer friendship, but to be invested, I just heard. You don't need to pull back. It's not an either or. We're starting to feel a blending. We're no longer juggling. We're taking baby steps. Feminines are ready for baby steps, legitimately. And masculines, oftentimes the 8 of Cups has 3 of Cups highlighted, and this can be the friendship with the feminine. I didn't catch that at the beginning of this reading, but that is a double confirmation. Masculines, offer your feminines friendship right now with this growth. Heal old wounds, restore healthy connections, expect miracles, and live fully. That means showing up as a friend to your feminine right now. But you don't have to have the lines blurred with the sexual romantic stuff. You can just genuinely be interested in your feminine and where they're at right now. What can we see that the feminines aren't necessarily liking about the connection? That it seems like an airy-fairy dream, that there's just so many ways to look at it. They're feeling kind of ungrounded, to be honest. This is all over the place sort of energy. There's 17 cups of emotion. It's kind of good feeling stuff. It's all kind of positive stuff, but there's no grounding in it. Their minds are going a little bit in every direction, masculines. So some advice is to help ground that by, just being a person in their life that doesn't represent this emotional, what is that, fragmentation. Just you being in their life right now would give them some kind of focus. Just you being a friend right now, kind of, I'm seeing the feminine literally depicted as a bouquet of helium balloons, masculines, and they're about to float off all over the place and be kind of groundless and formless. And if you can offer friendship to your feminine right now, masculines, I see that being very grounding. It's like they could really use that. They could really use a little bit of your logic, stability, structure, reason right now. Some grounding. But what's the card? Oh my gosh, look at that. Look at this. It's like, see them? They're like going up, up, up. So yeah, masculines, you could help ground them, help tether them to earth right now. Okay, what can we see that the feminines like about the romantic aspect? Oh my gosh, well, we got the 10 of wands here, but the 7 or the 6 of wands, sorry, and the 10 of cups for the second time. So they do like that they have had some pretty big ideas. You inspire them so much, divine masculines. You get their creative juices flowing, I just heard. And they do really like that you are possibly associating with them a little bit more. People may know about your connection. It's making them very happy that you're not hiding the fact you know you're feminine. That's what I'm getting from this, because this is the public awareness card. The 6 of Wands is a victory card, but in community. So they're very happy to be seen with you, to know you, to be associated with you at all, just in general. What is your advice? So there's a bit of transparency here, but this doesn't mean that everything is known. So when you hear, masculines, that your feminine is very happy to be associated with you, even though this is on the heart space, that can just be the grounding of having a friend in someone like you. And so you don't have to worry that this pressure, this blockage is going to be insurmountable. Like, you don't have to resist. So there's a need to be a little bit more practical, grounded here, and don't get carried away. Count the wins, I just heard. So there are aspects about being associated that don't imply what am I getting? So what I'm really getting, masculines, is because both feel this connection so intensely that there can be an assumption that everybody who knows about it can feel it to the degree that the two can. That might be true, but people are tipped off by that if you act strangely or different around each other than if you're just more chill and normal. You know, if there's special treatment, reverse prejudice, it can be more awkward than it needs to be. I'm hearing the masculine saying, but I don't want to give my feminine the wrong idea if I'm not ready. So that's fair. So feminines watching, just know that this is such an authentic connection that it's important to know that it can make you very, very happy to just be associated, but still respect that there is a developmental process, that there is a bigger thing going on with all of these high frequency love connections that you have to honor. There's a humility involved with them because they are so vast, intense, real, that they can swing out of balance. And so don't get ahead of yourselves. But masculines, don't be too cautious. Like, really don't be afraid to loosen up and relax. Feminines, this is a healthy reminder. Don't get too eager to manifest, to make something happen that's not warranted yet either. But there is a good feeling here. I do sense, because the masculines are at bringing up this blockage card, though, that it's tentative. So everybody just, it's all good. Just chill. Remember, there's growth for the masculines, spaciousness for the feminines. So what can we see on what the feminines don't particularly love about these connections right now? That they're feeling so sensual, attractive. They want to be physical with the masculine, but they're still feeling like they don't know what's going on with the abandonment or why the masculines are withholding so strongly. They don't really love this ambiguity. Why isn't it easier? Why isn't it just flowing more smoothly? How much longer do they have to wait? I'm hearing biological clock ticking as well. I'm also hearing with this cat, with the shadow independence here, that the feminines don't want to wait forever. They don't love being kept in limbo. Masculines. So what I'm hearing is your feminine is actually down to the make or break here. Or you might be feeling like that. You might be feeling this energy with your feminine, that fickle, I just heard. So there might be a fear, as we get close to the middle place, the middle way, the dualities sometimes look more and more particular. Stay or go. Those definite choices become more clear when we're actually finding balance, because we have true choice. And that can be kind of disconcerting. I'm hearing masculines and feminines. You might be feeling that in the energy as well, because you are coming into more empowerment and wholeness, and therefore you legitimately could take or leave these connections. And you can't fake that when it's done in karmic situations, and it's more like game playing or trying to trigger somebody to action. It's not what we're talking about here. This is the authentic wholeness that you're feeling, that this spaciousness coming in, knowing your masculine's been growing and wondering if it's going to balance out in time for this counterpart to come together. Masculines are feeling that. Feminines, you might be feeling that. All I can say, divine feminines, is if you are in a bit of angst about the limbo that's there, just know that if you've got other options, legitimate options, take them. If you don't actually have or are not open to other things, or don't have any other options that you legitimately feel you're missing out on, that you would like a chance to go towards, admit that to yourself, and don't make it about your masculine showing up or not. If that makes sense, just allow it to be what is. But if you genuinely do have other options, don't hold back. If that's what's on your heart, don't hurt yourself for somebody if you legitimately would like to go be with somebody else. If that's not the case, just come into your worthiness, feminines, but don't let it stress you out, particularly with your masculine or not. Do you. Give yourself permission to distinguish between, if you are in angst as a control dynamic with your masculine, but if it's a matter of you don't actually have any other options that you want, own that. Admit that to yourself and chill out. If you don't have those other options in mind that you want to go towards, don't tell yourself that you should fixate on whether your masculine is showing up or not. Just relax. I'm hearing a bunch of the feminines saying that's more difficult with the biological clock ticking. I'm going to get one card with that. I'm going to get some divine advice for the feminines wanting to know about biological clock. Standstill, suspended animation, and holding space. What I'm hearing, Temple of Suspended Endings, grace period. If you're meant to have children or a situation like that with your masculine, your biological clock is being put on hold. That's what I heard. It's being suspended. There's a holding space. You don't have to worry. I'm hearing that it's divine timing and you will not miss out. If you were always meant to, it will be perfect. Okay, moving on. What do the feminines want to manifest in these connections? Curiosity, and they want to know where you're at. They want to express where they're at spiritually, energetically, what they're excited about, what inspires them. They want to know what you're excited about, masculines. They want to be playful. 2 pages here. No, it's the Prince of Swords. So yeah, the communication. I would have read it that way anyways. And the Daughter of Wands, the Page of Wands. So these are like more playful, lighthearted, beginning somewhere kind of energies. They're excited to just start fresh, masculines. 9 of Orbs. So don't be in anxiety about it, because there is a starting small and fresh and new without expectation. Those aren't kings and queens or emperors and empresses, my way or the highway. This is exploration phase. So if you're all up in anxiety, masculines, about where to begin at the beginning, of course. Don't put that pressure on yourself. This is saying you're putting too much expectation on yourself, masculines, to have it either too figured out or that you're going to somehow screw it up if you come forward. This is saying you can be playful, you can be present, you can explore the options with your feminine, brainstorm together. What can we see that the feminines don't really want to be manifesting? And they don't want to be juggling anymore. They don't want to have to guess. This is communication in the inverse again. But we got this card of juggling in the inverse for the feminines to begin with. And I said they're not juggling anymore. They're keeping it simple. So masculines, they don't want to juggle anymore. They don't want to guess. They're not going to think too hard. They don't want to tax their pretty little brains, I just heard, on wondering unnecessarily, assuming. They don't want to waste their brain power assuming. So this is part of the receptivity that's going to balance out as you masculines restore healthy connections and come in to heal old wounds. The feminines are not going to be overgiving anymore. What is the advice for the masculines? Decision. Should I stay or should I go? That means with timing, with communication, with what to talk about, when to share. I heard need to know basis. So masculines, definitely be asking how, what, where, when, why of yourself. Don't withhold. Don't just withhold. We saw the unconditional friendship. We saw, being sort of transparent. You don't have to give everything, but there is a motion towards more free flow of emotion, of connection, of time, cordial, I just heard. So meditate on where you're at and how you might be able to not be so all or nothing. That doesn't mean compromising yourself, masculines, but it does mean you don't have to figure it all out. You can figure out one by one the things. A pendulum usually answers yes and no questions, and it's usually one question at a time. So that's the advice here, masculines. Just think about one question at a time, keeping it simple. I'm even hearing answering one question at a time, but the feminines, or even ask one question at a time. This is a little bit of a reading saying that the masculines are kind of coming towards the feminines, and the feminines are kind of simplifying things by not doing so much and not being resistant, but just putting down the heavy lifting. There's a motion of the masculines coming towards the feminines a little bit more. So yeah, meditate on what you can be curious about regarding your feminine, regarding the situation with the two of you, so they don't have to really guess anymore, masculines. Your feminines will be very open to you asking basic questions or things that you'd like to know about, and they're not going to put heap too much onus on that or too much expectation on that. They're just going to feel like things are smoothing out between the two of you, even just as friends, masculines. Okay, what do the feminines want to do at this time? Oh, okay, they want to put, not that the love isn't here, but they want to put the love on the back burner in name of unconditional love. So the friendship, they want to start at the 1, not the 2 of cups. They want to start at just honoring and seeing each other for who they are, not making that something to deepen in a romantic sense together. But they do want to be balanced out, normal. I'm hearing that word cordial again. Like, they want to connect. They like who you are, masculines. They want to come closer. They want to be friends. They want to see what can happen. They want to balance the energy out. They want to show consistency. I'm seeing this as a pillar. They want to just have staying power. They're very open to what will come. And they're not assuming it has to be romantic, but they obviously feel that for you, masculines, but they aren't assuming, and they don't have the agenda to force that. They would rather just set a new normal. What is the advice for the masculines? There's another pendulum coming in with the Emperor. Logic, stability, reason. So this is the feminine taking the lead, not wanting to get ahead of themselves, not wanting to unjustifiably assume the love. They want to just, connect. They want grounding. They want friendship. They want you to meet them in this unconditional love. That message with the Queen of Cups to begin with, this is that psychic, intuitive, unconditionally loving bedrock that we're both getting down to in the energy as masculine and feminine. And we saw that the feminines really actually need some grounding right now by just, being shown that you care about them as a friend, masculines. Ooh, I'm just going to cry. I just heard the feminines are so used to being treated as objects. And they know you have too, masculines, been treated that way. But that they've never really had a friend in a masculine. Not like you can be a friend. Not a wise, stable, mature, masculine friend who can really show up and be a friend. They actually need that. They need that for their hearts. That's something you can really offer them, masculines. Ooh, that's really beautiful. What do the feminines not really want to see happen here? They don't want to have to walk away and start fresh. The world, they don't want to leave everything that's happened between the two of you on every level. They don't want to have had it be for nothing. They don't want you to just be an ascension buddy that got them to this stage and then poof, both of you are gone and off in a different new kind of direction. They want to stay connected. They want to deepen with you. They don't want to have to go it alone from here on out. They don't want to tell themselves everything that you two went through was so they'd be, strong enough to make it on their own without you. That's not why they are coming into this wholeness. Oh, it's to break out of into autonomy and out of codependency. What a beautiful, coherent message. Yeah, the feminines don't want to keep being strong. They don't want this journey to have made them strong so that they could be good on their own alone. They don't want to be alone. They want to have balance within relationship. They want to have relationship with you. And higher guidance here, masculines, it's not about being two people doomed to be alone. It's about finding wholeness and then finding ways for that to really be celebrated together. Okay, what is the challenge the feminines are most wanting to That's so funny. Embark on? They want to eliminate the fear to have this new beginning with you. So we got the Fool card back to back. They don't want to have the fear. They want to see both of you as resilient, as overcoming the mental blocks, this unconditional love, this leap of faith. They don't want to have to, say, oh, this journey has just been so that they could get to the next level independently and then off to the races with somebody else. They want to get over the fear that this is not meant to go on with you. Divine justice, yeah. Oh, jump in the net will be provided. So the feminines want to take a leap of faith to believe that justice, divine justice, can prevail here, that this hasn't been a journey with no safety net, that they really just want to be able to do what's needed to come closer together, to free their minds and yours, and to have this grand surprise play out. They're hoping that when the energy in them and the energy in you balance out the fear, that divine justice is served and that these connections come together. What is the challenge or issue that the feminines don't prefer would be here? Always having this aloofness, stoic energy. The Emperor can be the control freak dynamic and kind of standoffish. This tree doesn't look like you could, it's not a huggable tree. This looks like a very rigid, I don't always interpret this card that way, but that's what I'm getting today. And the Five of Coins, that's the isolation, left out in the cold. This denial about, they don't like this kind of aloof, stoic energy where everybody's sort of like, this twin flame journey or this learning curve journey or this separation we're in. They don't want to be challenged. They don't want to have to withstand this separation anymore. Be curious, masculines, how you can come in as that friend. The Page of Swords, we already saw this card. This is the curiosity. This is the starting small. So this is saying, masculines, you can begin to change up what you've been doing in this connection, this stoic, aloof, holding back out of fear. Be curious where you don't need to be that way anymore, where you can restore these healthy connections and live fully. If living fully includes your feminine in small ways to begin with at this stage, be curious what those can be or how that can start, because there is a nudge to really restore healthy connections and expect huge miracles. It's like give a little and you might be absolutely blown away with how much love comes in the right ways here, masculines. Okay, I was traveling this weekend and I was a little bit sleepy, but had to come and do a reading. And I'm glad I did. I hope that made sense. Tell me it made sense with the high fives in the comments if that made sense. Okay, night.